Cybermen.
We are the Cybermen.
In our stories, the Cybermen are from a parallel universe.
There are Cybermen in our universe. They started on an ordinary world just like this, then swarmed across the galaxy. This lot are a parallel version. They're starting from scratch right here on Earth.
The Cybermen are created on an alternative version of our own planet by John Lumick.
Do you know me? Answer. Do you know me? You are John Lumick.
If you've never watched Doctor Who, there are a few things that you're probably still aware of, just because they're in the general cultural consciousness. The Doctor and the TARDIS, and probably the Cybermen.
You will be deleted.
They're one of the few things that have moved out of the series itself and into kind of popular culture and popular recognition.
Lumick's turned them into a brand.
So it was perhaps inevitable that when Doctor Who was revived as a series, the Cybermen would be given another spin. By taking the TARDIS to this parallel world, you can start the Cybermen from scratch, so any new viewer jumping on gets the whole story and doesn't feel like they've missed 40 years of history.
They're people.
They were, till they had all their humanity taken away. That's a living brain jammed inside a cybernetic body with a heart of steel. All emotions removed.
Why no emotion?
Because it hurts.
You know, that's the horror that Cybermen sort of tease us with, that we might all end up sort of locked in a box and no longer recognisably human and no longer recognisably ourselves, with no personality and no emotion and no individuality. So what you're left with is this army of impassive silver beasts. They're also a great story device. It's this idea that human beings are converted and become, they're not just robots. There's people in there.
That's what these things are. They're us.
It's difficult to tell why any sort of creature or monster should become more popular than another, and why some stick in the public consciousness. There's obviously just a something that works there, an ingredient that fascinates people about the Cybermen. They're a great design. Although the design has changed significantly over the years, there's still something recognisable about all the versions of the Cybermen they've been in. I think the version that we've got now is instantly recognisable and very specific to all the designs that have gone before, as well as being of its time. When I first got the job, I knew that the Cybermen were going to come up in the first few stories that I did, which was very exciting, because I'd watched them as a kid. You knew you were bringing back something that everyone had a memory of, and even people who weren't big Doctor Who fans were aware of the Cybermen, and you just knew that bringing them back would be something that people would be fascinated by. The Cybermen, as they marched through the mist, looks like a special effect. But that mist was real, and that was just fortuitous, actually, that we were filming in the depths of winter. But it gives a brilliant flavour to that scene, to see these Cybermen marching through this mist. It's a great scene, and of course the Doctor peering through the window and seeing these things again for the first time, seeing these things being created again for the first time. There was quite a lot of buzz around at the time of the Cybermen were coming back, and there was quite a build-up to it, and to have had a whole episode where you're waiting to see them, and you keep teasing the audience with a silhouette here and a hint of a suit, but then you hold off for about 40 minutes probably until the end of that episode, where you finally see them emerging through the mist and smashing through the windows. It just adds to the excitement of this big returning icon.
We have been upgraded.
Into what?
The next level of mankind.
I'm quite fond of the scene towards the end of Age of Steel, when the Doctor and Rose and Pete are in the cyber controller's lair.
I've been captured, but don't worry, Rose and Pete are still out there. They can rescue me. Oh, well, never mind.
And the Doctor has to signal to Mickey to get on the phone and send through the deactivation code.
Because even an idiot knows computers these days. Knows how to get past firewalls and passwords. Knows how to find something encrypted in the Lumic family database. Under, what was it, Pete? Binary what?
Binary 9.
Binary 9.
It shows the gulf between the sort of the creative mind and the cyber mind, which is logical and infallible and impenetrable.
Your words are irrelevant.
Yeah, talk too much, that's my problem.
I think that's a nice, a clever sequence and a funny sequence, and also a very, very true to the character of the Doctor and the Cybermen.
You've got to be kidding!
The rope ladder sequence at the end of Age of Steel is like many of those kind of action sequences, was filmed in about 20 different bits. There's the sequence when we're on the roof of the building. Of course, we weren't on the roof of a building. We were just on a big concrete kind of runway. And then there's the bit on the ladder itself when we were suspended on a crane being swung through the night sky. Then there's another bit on the ladder when we were against green screen and the airship was put in later. Cutaways of the rope being burnt with sonic.
This is for her!
The more complicated the action sequence, the more bits required to jigsaw it together.
You are not upgraded.
Yeah, well, upgrade this.
What the hell was that thing?
Electromagnetic bomb.
I think what's great about that scene is that it just reminds you of what the Cybermen are. It stops them from just becoming kind of science fiction soldiers.
Why am I cold?
Oh my God, it's alive.
And I think to drop in a little moment like that halfway through a story is very important. It keeps the stakes high. It just reminds you that the Cybermen were like us, that we could become them.
Why so cold?
Can you remember your name?
Certainly Phelan.
You're a woman.
Where's Gareth?
Who's Gareth?
He can't see me. It's unlucky the night before.
You're getting married.
I'm cold. I'm so cold.
It's all right. You sleep now, Sally. Let's go to sleep.
And in amongst all the bangs and crashes and just before the big, extraordinary kind of exploding finale, I think it's great to have a moment like that just grounds the story. It is the first time the Daleks and the Cybermen have actually met on television.
Daleks do not take orders. You have identified as Daleks.
That was very exciting to be a witness to.
Our species are similar, though your design is inelegant. Daleks have no concept of elegance. This is obvious.
I think some people were surprised at how easily the Daleks kind of got the better of the Cybermen. They certainly were. They certainly wiped them out pretty swiftly.
Hostile elements will be deleted. Exterminate!
Just the very fact that the Daleks appear at all is a thrill. And then the idea that they're going to have to stand up to the Cybermen in some way is another thrill, especially for a Doctor Who fan.
Daleks, be warned. You have declared war upon the Cybermen.
It does feel like you've got another sort of badge, another stripe on your sleeve, having met the Cybermen a couple of times. Feels good, feels right.